All right, looks like I'm live here. Just a quick Q&A until it cools down a little bit because it was kind of hot today and it's still hot. So I just started the van up, just had dinner, and now I'm letting it cool for a few minutes, and I'm letting the back cool down a few minutes. So I figure, let me do a quick Q&A. Oh, this is freaky. So I see I have two loyal subscribers or victims. Any questions, shoot away. I may or may not answer your questions, but at least you can't see it and try. So 3. So I could have 3 questions right now. I'm doing good, Ed, but that's not a oh, I guess that's a question. Okay, that's a question. I'm doing good. All hot, tired, sleepy. What time is it? 8:09. Okay, I guess I went long enough. I'm going to cut this short. I'm just kidding. I got 4. I could have 4 questions right now. So 1 went away. Okay, so I have 3. Okay, here's a go. What is the speed of light traveling to the moon near Venus? Near Venus? The speed of light traveling to the moon, 186,216 miles per second. So the moon is roughly 250,000 miles away from us. It takes, I think, about 2 seconds or so, give or take, for a radio signal which travels at the speed of light to go to the moon and back. Does that answer your question? Satisfied? Say yes. I can give you the state. I'm not going to give you the city. I'm in New Jersey. I'm not going to say what city. If you are in Jersey and you want to meet with me, you can private message me or email me, and I'm always willing to do that. Why are you calling me mean? Why are you calling me mean? I don't have a mean bone in my body. I help everybody. How am I mean? Alright, 15. This is a quick Q&A while my living quarters cool down with the AC. So if you have any questions, for lunch. All right. I live in Jordan. I'm not gonna give you a town. I'm sorry. I'm in the northern Jersey area. Let's say that. But yeah, it's pretty hard to afford living in New Jersey. New Jersey, states like New Jersey and New York, and I'm talking about more of the central. Well, I guess it's the whole state. The taxes are just through the roof. So it's just ridiculous. When I bought my house in Pennsylvania, I was paying. I had 5 acres, a 2,700 square foot house plus a full basement, and I was paying $5,000 or so taxes. the same house in New Jersey, depending on the area, I could be paying $20,000 or more taxes. I mean, that's just ridiculous. You buy a house, you pay it completely, and then is it yours? Will it ever be yours? No, it's never going to be yours, because the minute you stop paying your taxes, they'll take the house away from you. So I hope one day there will be a president or a Congress with the guts to say to the rest of the government, you know, enough is enough. Let the people be truly free. You know, no more home taxes, property taxes. So I got some comments here. Let me see. Crap, I don't know what I did. Oh. Hi, Tita Linda. Nice seeing you here live. Rambo Lance, no questions. Well, you don't have... So you do have a question. What's my first... Rambo Lance. What's my first big doubt about van life? I don't have any doubts about van life. This is what I do. This is my life. I mean, it's not my life. This is where I live. If I was living in my car, then I would be living in my car. I just have the mentality that I'm just going to do it. And I just did it. And it's hot, and I'm not complaining. I mean, I might make a video crying about it, that it's too hot. Have I mentioned that lately, that it's too hot? But no, in reality, I just do it. It's my home. It's 100 degrees. I go in there and I sleep, and I just deal with it. To me, I have no choice. All right. How did I anchor my cabinets into the walls of your van? Well, I could tell you, but it's probably easier if you go to my earlier videos. I have a whole playlist of the van build, and I have a few different playlists. So if you go there, you'll see, in the beginning I didn't do any videos, so I just did pictures. But I do have those pictures in there, and basically it's just one, you know, like there's a saying, I don't know if you're in America or not, but there's a saying, the thigh bone connects to the knee bone, which connects to the other bone. So it's one thing anchors another, and anchors another, and anchors another, and it's a whole lot of anchoring around. Let's see. Gatekeeper has a question. Go ahead. Go ahead, Paulie. You know I enjoy sharing your life. You share my life? How do you share my life? You share it on Facebook, YouTube. Where's my Timmy's coffee? Just found out they have no way across town. They have. Carol, I can't help you there. You're gonna have to drive to where Timmy's is, or there's always Amazon. Try Amazon. in an average month, how many different places you park overnight? Huh. Let me put it this way. Okay, this is an important question. Let me put it this way. You watch some YouTube videos and some people will tell you the right way to do it is, if you're going to be in the same place for a while, you find either 14 locations or 30 locations, and you either park twice, so you rotate and you end up parking twice in the same place during a month, or you find 30 places and you park one place every night. Now, my theory is a different place. If you find a good place to park that you're not sticking out like a sore thumb, my theory is that you go there and you park every night, and if you get caught and you're told to move on, then you move on and you find different places. But if you are quiet and if you behave yourself and you don't give yourself away, then my theory is, and this is the Louis theory, you go there long enough, you become part of the neighborhood. Okay, now people will see you there after a while. They associate your vehicle there every night, and they don't really question the police. If the police drives through there and they see you there one night, they see you there a second night, they see you there 2 weeks later, a month later, and then they think nothing about it. Now, if you park in one location, right in the town on one location, and one day the police goes by you and they see you, they don't think anything about it. The next night you park across town, the same police goes by you, they kind of notice you, but it still doesn't register. And then the third night you park in a different location in town, the same police now goes by, and now they're like, wait a minute, didn't I see this van over there, and now they're over here, you know? And they may not do anything about it. Then the fourth night you park in a different place, and now the same police officer, 2 o'clock in the morning, is driving by, and now he sees you. Now he knows that he's seen you all over town. Now you're sticking out like a sore thumb. Now, this doesn't really work if you have to park in the same town, but if you have to work or live near a whole bunch of towns, right, like at the corner of like 3 or 4 or 5 towns, then you can spend the night in each town, and now you have different cops in different places, and that might work. But my theory is, if you find a good place, become part of the neighborhood, and just be quiet and sleep for the night. Okay, I got some comments here. I gotta go through them. Originally, no taxes. Yes, until 1914, I think. That's when taxes were implemented, 1914 or 1919, in the early 1900s. And amazingly enough, no income tax was collected, yet schools were built, roads were built, all those things were still built. But how many miles are on your van now, and how come I don't see you at many of the van gatherings that other nomads go to? Okay, that's a good question. I have about 63,000 miles, and the reason you don't see me at some gatherings that other nomads go to is because I, unlike many people, have a full-time job. Okay, I work full-time, and I've taken off, when I went out west, I took off a few months. I was laid off, and then I figured, I'm just standing around here, it's cold, I'm just going to go out west. And I did it, and I'm so glad I did that. And then last year or this past winter, I went to Florida, and now I see no reason why I should work during the winter. I just want to. I'm just fed up. You know, my work, the work that I do, I can't wait to retire. So I just want to take the winter off. That's why you don't see me at those gatherings, because I'm working. I'm not someone who's just living on a road, driving around here and there. I have obligations and I have to work. I have a full-time job, so. Well, Ed, I'm not in Northeast PA, so enjoy your tornadoes. Wow, I have a lot of questions here. Dog lips. Do I ever go out west? Check out my Westward Bound playlist series. I have like 50 some videos there. I went out west. I went all the way to the Pacific, and I travel all over the place. So yes. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, my van right now, I have to be honest, it's not as organized as I would like to. I still have my inverter that I haven't installed yet, and that's driving me nuts. It's taking up room. So I'm waiting for maybe a 3-day weekend with a holiday to do that. And that's taking up space, and it's driving me nuts, and certain other things that I have to take the time to organize. But I like things organized. I like things in their place. And if I don't have things in their place, if something is like hidden behind I can't use it. And I don't like messes. Why is there a highway to hell but only a stairway to heaven? I don't think that's in the Bible, but the Bible does say that, or I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember the specific verse and chapter and book, but the Bible does say that the road to destruction, the road to hell is wide, right? But the road to heaven is narrow. In other words, the Bible is very specific. The majority of the people that ever lived and will live will not make it to heaven. It's only a very few will ever make it there. I don't know how many. I'm not God. I don't pretend to be. So God's mercy is infinite, and only He knows for sure. So I'm just assuming here. I have a lot of questions. Sorry about that. I had to block somebody. Just block them off. Tony Meyer, when am I going to get a dog? I cannot get a dog right now. It would be unfair to whatever animal I get to leave him in a van in the summer, in the heat, while I'm working. So I cannot, as much as I would love to have some kind of a pet, I cannot do that and be fair to the animal. How hot does it get in a van? Have you ever had to rent a hotel room? I do not go. I do not go to hotels. I do park at a hotel sometimes. You should try it if you drive a van. You go in a hotel. Hotels is something that a lot of people don't know about. Probably, if you go in and you park as if you belong there, and I've done it many times. I never had an issue. But in my van, it's gotten to be. I've went to sleep, not this summer, although this summer there were a few days it's pretty hot. But I've been in a van almost 100 degrees, and I just have to go to sleep, and I have to, you know, it's nighttime, and I just live with it. How's my Webasto? It's not a Wabasco, it's a Webasto. And no, it does not create any moisture because it's a dry heat. It doesn't run on propane. It runs on the fuel from the van, on gas, and the combustion is done in a separate compartment, so it does not come inside my van. The intake for the combustion comes from the outside of the van, and the exhaust goes to the outside. It circulates the air from my van through the heating coils, and it's a dry heat, so I just love it. Do you do any kind of research before picking a parking space, or do you just go with your gut and hope for the best? Well, I don't do a lot of research. Depending on where I'm at, I look for certain places, and for example, I mean, I can give you some hints of what I look for. In the beginning, I used to park on roadways, but I don't do that anymore. I like on streets. I try to avoid that. So I look for example. This is nothing in particular, but just examples. Park and rides. You can park at a park and ride. I stayed at a park and ride for like 3 months, and I went there every single day. After the first week, to the locals there parking every night, I just became part of the people that park there every night. I never had an issue. So I parked there for 3 months. So if I don't have that, maybe there's some different hotels near where I'm working. I can go there. Walmart is always an option. So there's quite a few different places that you can go park and not have an issue. I never had an issue in my van. So if you are discreet and don't make noises, don't turn lights on, don't go in and out of the van. I do turn my lights on, but my van is, I have no light that escapes to the outside. And I also try to park under some light. So by parking under some light, it camouflages the light going out through my vent, and I never had an issue. I have quite a lot of questions here. I'm trying to go through them. If I miss your question, I apologize. Read faster. Hi, Sparrow. God bless. Do I want to live in a house? I don't want to buy my own house. If I have no desire to buy my own house. Hotels are awesome. Yes. If people are smart, you got to use your brains. You got to use common sense anywhere you park. And if you use common sense, you never have an issue. I've been living in my van going on almost 4 years, 3.5+ years. I never had an issue. So I looks like I have some flat earthers. Um, I mean, my personal belief, the Earth is flat. All you got to do is look at the moon, look at the sun, look at get a telescope or binoculars, look at Mars, look at Jupiter, look at Venus. Everything is round and spherical. The Earth wouldn't be any different. And for people that have doubts, I mean, here's a funny thing. I'm trying to hold the comments there so I can get back to them. But here's a funny thing. You know how you scroll through YouTube videos and stuff like that, and I've scrolled through some videos and they say, oh, the moon has its own internal light. You know, the sun shines its light, but the moon shines its own light. Well, how come the moon didn't shine its own light during the eclipse? How come the moon went across the sun, completely covered the sun? It was all dark. How come we didn't see any light coming from the moon? So there's a theory debunked. You are very welcome, Dolores. Thank you, and you're very welcome. I can get a mechanical dog. I wouldn't have to feed him, right? But I do have some pets. I have Van Jones in the basement, Spielberger and Van Stein in the second floor. So they keep me entertained. PJ Mac, if you could do it again, would you pick a different type of van or get something with more room like a Class C? The work that I do and where I have to live, I cannot do it with the Class C, I think. Maybe I could if I had one, but it would be very hard to park where I park and stay where I stay. If I had something that screams RV, if it screams RV, people know somebody's in there. So maybe I could do it, but I doubt it. And would I pick a different van? Yes, if I could, I would pick something with a high top. My plans, everything that I planned when I was dreaming of living in a van was based on the Sprinter. Of course, before I bought the van, I realized the Sprinter was going to be the wrong vehicle for many reasons. I've already stated this before quite a few times. Then I was waiting for the Ford Transit to come out, and it wasn't coming out. It wasn't coming out, and so I had to buy something, and I bought the Chevy, and then like 2 months later, the Transit came out. Now, had I bought the Transit, I probably would have done. It would have been a mistake, because usually first-year vehicles of any kind have lots of issues. But if I had I also looked at box vans, so maybe a box van would have worked. I'm not sure, but yeah, a box van would have given me plenty of room. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm very happy in my van, but I've always said it. If I could stand up and walk a little bit, it would be a totally different. The lifestyle would be totally different. But I got what I got, and I have to live with it. Try to get to the questions here. Do I think it's best to carry a firearm while van dwelling? I'm not going to say yes. I'm not going to say no. Jesus was a nomad. I guess you can say Jesus was a nomad. He was also a carpenter. He was also the bread of life and the door. Do I do van builds on the side for other people? No. I did one van build. You can see the playlist. I have 2 playlists, I think, of a high top van that I built for a friend of mine, and that's the only other van I did besides my own. Now, if there's somebody near me that can be where I am for the weekends and needs a hand, I wouldn't mind giving a hand when I have the time. But this was a very good friend of mine that I helped, and it was a different situation. So harder to stay in a van when weather is hot or cold. I am seriously considering the van life, but live near Houston, and it is very hot this time of the year, and can't figure out to stay cool enough. Well, I've stayed in a van. I've been in a van when it was minus 36 degrees outside, and I stayed inside my van without the heat running, I believe. So, and I've been in my van when it's over 100 degrees. So is it more difficult to be in the van when it's hot or when it's cold? You know, he is both and not both. Here's the thing: in the summer, when it's hot, I forget how cold it gets in the winter. And in the winter, when it's very cold, I forget how hot it gets in the summer. But since I've installed my Webasto, and as long as I have power to run it, because it requires a little bit of power, I have no issues being in a van. It could be whatever weather outside, and I have no issues because I just turn the dial, I set it for whatever temperature I want, let's say 75, and all night and all day and all night and all day, it'll stay at that temperature. So I have no more issues. If I don't use the Webasto, I'm not even, you know, it's a non-issue for me. Of course, you know, it's still cold outside, and I could still be a little bit of cold if something happens to with the Webasto. But as far as the heat, I have a kind of a solution, but I don't think I'm going to end up implementing it this year because it requires a little bit of money. Not a lot, but maybe like $2,000. And I just don't want to go spend that money right now. So it looks like I'm going to have to implement my AC idea for next summer. And so yeah. And of course, some people love the heat. So if you love the heat, hot weather is a lot better than cold weather. And if you love the cold, then it's the opposite. Let's see, what other questions? Look, you know, if you believe that the Earth is flat, then knock yourself out. You know, I won't dislike you any more or any less. Okay, If you were my friend, then I wouldn't dislike you because you think the Earth is flat. If you think the moon, if you think the planets are stars, then knock yourself out. I mean, if that does not, if you believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, if you believe that Jesus is God in the flesh, and you believe that Jesus died on the cross and you rose on the third day, and you rose in a bodily form. He has a spiritual body, he has a resurrected body. And if you believe that, and if you believe that God, by the power of Jesus' blood, that we are saved, not by works, so that no one can boast, but by faith in His blood, then nothing else matters. You can disagree on the little minors. As long as we agree on the majors, then the minors are irrelevant. If you believe that the Earth is flat, knock yourself out. If you believe that the Mars is not a planet, knock yourself out. I'm not going to argue that. But my opinion is, if you think, and here's another thing, if you think that Mars is not a planet because God created our planet, which is not a planet, according to some of you, it's a flat plane, because this is how God did it. Well, why would God do that? Why would you say God do that? Because God doesn't have the power to create an infinite universe? My belief is that God has unlimited power. God created everything we see out of nothing. And God could have created the universe 10 miles long, 20 miles long, or an infinite mile long. And my belief is that the universe probably is infinite as God desires it to be. And if there's stars billions and billions and billions and billions and quadrillions of light years away from us, well, God did it because He can do it. Our God, my God, I don't know about your God, but my God has unlimited power. My God holds all the atoms in the universe together. If God, for a split second, said, I'm not doing it anymore, the whole universe would fall apart. So my God has unlimited power. He can do whatever He wants. So my God is not limited to having planets that are not really planets, or stars that are not really stars, or an Earth that's not really round, and cylinder in a ball shape. So if you believe that the Earth is flat, then fine. My God has the power to do whatever He wants. Anything pertaining to Lydia has to be hush hush mush mush. If she's coming to visit, I guess everybody will see eventually. So I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. Have I been to Yosemite? No, I haven't. I almost went there, but I did not go to Yosemite. I'm trying to go to the comments here. How do I survive the heat? Just by surviving the heat. That's what's cooling down right now? My van, it was very hot, almost 100 degrees today. So I have the AC, I have the van running, the AC going, and it's cooling down the back. a little bit, and of course I say that this is just going to be a few minutes, and then it ends up being about an hour. So hey, Kerned, I can't say your name, so Kerned, churned, I think it's churned. PJ Mack, I have to ask, politically, what side of the aisle are you? I mean, I've given some hits, but I don't really try not to go too much into politics, because it's like a can of worms that just keep on multiplying. All right. I like more freedom, less government intrusion. I like to keep more of my money. I believe that I know what to do with my money more than the government does. I believe that the United States should speak softly but carry a big stick, because I believe that without the United States presently, this world would be in tremendous chaos. And that's not saying that the United States is perfect, because it's not. The people that make up the country are not perfect. Some people are more imperfect than others. But what else can I say that will... If you email me or probably email me, because I don't receive... If somebody sends me a personal message, I don't receive emails for that anymore. So once in a while, I forget. I haven't looked in a while to see if they have any messages. But if you want to know specifically, email me and I'll tell you what my feelings are. When is the next rematch with Paul? Well, Paul has lost 4 in a row. So whenever he wants a rematch, I'm up for it. Adam Garza, I put Isaiah 53 to music 44 years ago. Cool. Yeah. Send me an email. If I knew nothing about the New Testament, and I found a book of Isaiah, and specifically Isaiah 53, that's Jesus's life right there, Isaiah 53. That's a whole gospel. So Carol thought I was angry? I'm not angry. Just being passionate. My God is not limited by anything. You know, that was an atheist. I've heard this story. I don't know who said it originally. It's not mine. And I'm not going to say it exactly the way I heard. But there was this atheist that was arguing with God, right? And the guy's an atheist, go figure. But he's arguing with God. that he can create life just like God did. You know, he could do the same thing. I mean, look, the atheist says we could do all these things in a laboratory. You know, just some enzymes, some protein. We can mix everything together and we can create life. So he's arguing with God. You know, it's almost like, "Oy vey, hey, I can make God, eh?" And I can make God. I can make life. So, and then he says, "Oh, and I can make man too. I mean, it's oh really." God says, "Oh really? You can make men? Yeah. I mean, we have all these advances in technology. I can get all these elements together, and I can create, and I can do it. I mean, I can." So God says, "You know, all right, give it a shot. You know." So here goes the scientist, atheist, whoever the heck he was, and he goes and he grabs a whole bunch of dirt, right? He's going to create something like God created Adam and Eve, or Adam from dirt. And God says, you know, you get your own dirt, buddy. So that was the end of that. That was the end of that one. You want me to live in a white van? I do live in a white van. Can you imagine me? Can you imagine me as the president? Oh man, things with you know. I better keep my mouth shut. People run chilly water in copper pipe in a circle in front of a battery paved fan. Battery paved. I've done some paving, but I don't think putting paving in front of a fan in a battery paved. Battery paved. What would be the other word instead of paved? Okay, yes, I'm aware of that. I don't want to do that. I'm well aware of that stuff. I'm aware of many different methods. I even made my own swamp cooler in the first summer, and it worked, but I had to buy ice. I do have my own idea, but I need some stuff, and I'm trying to work. So not for this summer, it looks like, since the summer is beginning to wind down, but for next summer I intend on having a system that will keep me cool. If you wish to make apple pie from scratch, you must first create the universe. That is correct. If somebody doesn't believe in God, yet they like apple pie, and they make apple pie with apples that God created, that grow on trees that God created, that grow on dirt that God created, that grow on a planet that God created, and heated by a sun that God created, that spins in the universe that God created. You got to have a lot of guts to believe that all that came by chance. Uh-oh, I just got a notification. There's a severe thunderstorm coming to my area. Uh-oh. If I got cut off, it's because of... oh, it's coming! It's coming! Oh! No! Okay, I'm okay. It was a quick tornado. Just it's gone. All right, back to the live thing here. President Lewis lives in a White House down by the river. I think to be president, you gotta be very savvy. You have to be. You have to You gotta have a different mindset, and I probably don't have that. Then again, you never know. Ever think about quitting and doing some kind of travel, work camping arrangement? No, because why would I do that? I would have to work 20 times as much to make the money that I make now. So why would I do that? I need the money that I make, so I wouldn't do it any differently. Not right now, anyway. I'll show you the planets. Yeah. If you are so good with the gates, how come you don't stay by the freaking gate? Every morning I go to work, and I gotta open the gate, and then in the evening, if I'm the last one, I gotta lock the gate. So where the heck are you? Are you over there keeping the gate open, closing the gate, opening the gate? No, you suck as president. You stink. You will never be president. Vote for Lewis. If you vote for Lewis, I will give you a cell phone. You no longer have to pay your mortgages because that's all taken care of. I will lower the seas. If the seas are too high right now, I will lower them. What else will I do? Oh, I will implement some new type of health care. We don't know what it's going to look like, but we'll have to pass it for you to find out. So once we pass it, then if you have doctors and you like your doctors, you can keep them. If you like your insurance, you can keep it. The insurances will not go up. The premiums will not go up. Will stay the same. And what else? And yeah, so I will do all that if you make me president. I promise. It's a promise. Promise. Mike, RTR, I was going to go last year or this past winter, and I didn't go because I went to Florida, and I was going to go the year before and I didn't go, and I was going to go the year before and I didn't go, and now I think it's just getting too big. I don't like things too big like that. I think there's also a lot of egos going over there, and that's not my cup of tea. So I can't say never. Maybe I'll be going there this winter. I don't know. But I'll stay to the side, and if egos get in the way, the rolling Earthship will just go on its way. So I don't like a lot of egos. I don't like lots of noise. So let's see what else here. I'm trying to read the comments. Spirit child. Hey, 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 wait a minute. I've heard this before. Yeah. Yeah. You know, yeah, I will definitely lower the seas, and I'll cut taxes in all 57 states. Thank you, Jake. Jake Henderson. Thank you very much. Gatekeeper, why don't you just go away? If you go away, I'll make you my vice president. Okay? Every president needs well, I was going to say something bad, but needs a smart guy like you. So if Gatekeeper, I'll promise you the vice presidency if you just shut up. Still reading too slow. I got like 1 million comments. Now I'm at the end. See, I made it to the end. See, now I have no more comments. But you have to keep your mouth shut. Just disappear. I promise you, I'll make you vice president. You got the job. So relax. Ed will be the Secretary of State. Secretary, yeah. I'll make Ed this. What about the characters? What did I miss? What did I miss? I don't know what I missed. I don't know if I missed something. If I missed something, just let me know. It's almost an hour. Can I comment on the comment I never comment on? I would comment, but if I comment on that comment, you may not, which you may have not commented, and other people may have not commented on that comment. So if I comment, other people will not understand the comment. So it's better if I don't comment on the comment that you never commented on. Mike says or asks, ever think about putting a high top on the van? No. A lot of people have asked you this before. I will not put a high top on my van, because if I do, I lose all the work I put into the van. I will lose my roof rack that cost me $1,300, and all that work is going down the drain. So no, I will just live with my van the way it is, and I will not put a high top on it. Yes, Ed, you're going to be in my cabinet. I will find a nice cozy cabinet with or without windows, and I will stuff you in there, lock the doors, and you're going to be in that cabinet for 4 years, buddy. Hey, listen, you shut up. You have the guts to put oil on my seat? Listen, I'm offering you the vice presidency, and your response is you're going to put oil on my seat. Listen to this. This is the guy that's down in a hole. Sometimes he's down like 20 feet down from me with barely any room to spare, and I'm on top 20 feet high with a big bucket full of dirt, or with a big piece of concrete or a big something else right there, inches from his head. And he's got the guts to say he's going to put oil on my seat. I will remember that when you are down in that hole and I have a bucket full of dirt or a bucket full of water, because I can get water. You don't know where I park, but I know where you live. So just think of that. Just when you go to sleep tonight, if you can sleep, just think of me standing like 10, 15, 20 feet above your head with a bucket full of dirt, full of water. I don't want to get rid of you, but full of water. And then I just go like this. Whoosh, and imagine that it's like 30 degrees out. Even 40. Just think of that one. All right? Well, Ed, the cabinet will be like 10 feet by 10 feet. So it should be plenty big. I'll give you a big bucket of water. I'll give you 2 buckets of water. And I'll give you a bag full of flour. You can bake your own bread. And that's all you're going to get. Water and bread. He doesn't know where I park, and even if he does, he's just kidding. He's my friend, so as long as he keeps his mouth shut, I will keep the bucket full of dirt away from his head. That's the deal. Cowboy bumper sticker. You know what I think of the Cowboys? That's all I have to say about the Cowboys. Steelers. Listen, I'm not a thief. I don't steal, so no stickers on my van, please. I did put a sticker on his van as a joke, and I put one of my stickers on his window, a back window, and I was just kidding, and it was just for filming, and the window was like, had like a layer of dust. So I never thought that sticker would stick. You know, who would have thunk it that the sticker would stick to sticky dust or unsticky dust? But anyway, it's still there. You beat the Giants. You know, I have the Giants sweater, and I got it many years ago when I was still watching football games, but then they had some strikes and some stuff, and they just turned me away from the game, and now there's some stuff going on with the game which really is not part of the game, and it's stuff that's just turning a lot of people off, and the NFL keeps losing money, keeps losing attendance, and they just like they're headstrong into hitting a brick wall. And when they tell the viewers and the people that go see the games, you know, we don't care what you think, we're just going to do this anyway, even if the majority doesn't like it, then people will be turned off from the game, and people won't watch, won't go to the games, and they'll keep losing revenue. So if the only way a company or something like the NFL learns is by going bankrupt, then I guess my opinion is then the NFL can go bankrupt for all I care, because if they don't learn, then they deserve that. So that's my opinion. I'm on a rant here today. I'm on a roll. What else you want me to say? I'm on a roll here. I'm a giant in spirit. It's still there and waiting on my money for the exposure and giving you. I'm giving you. Listen, you have to learn. I already told you this many times. Punctuation. Proper writing includes punctuation, so that people can better understand the meaning of your words. And right now your words are jumbled up. I'm not the guy from that movie. If you're talking about my videos, yes, I'm the guy from my videos. I've never been in any movie. So Listen, buddy, I'm learning the rules of basketball. It's little by little. I'm not a basketball player. I never said I was. And the fact that I'm not a basketball player and I beat you, a basketball player, that says a lot about my athletic prowess. So, Ed, you have no punctuation. You are educated? Really? I couldn't tell from, what is that there? Souks? All right. Any more good questions? Because it's 9:14. I've been on for over an hour, and if any more good questions come up, besides the gatekeeper there, just saying bad stuff with bad punctuation or no punctuation whatsoever. Any more good questions? oh, 2:14 in the UK. It's 2:14 in the morning. Why don't you say 2:14 a.m.? So easy. Why 2:14? Just 2:14. That's it. Just remove the zero, right? Put a little what is it? Comma to put something in front of the 2 and just put 2 a.m. 2:14 a.m. That works so much better. How about the pizza question? Maybe it's a question for you, Ed. I don't think anybody else wants to hear about pizza at this time at night. Especially me, now that I'm full. If I was hungry, I would love to talk to you about pizza. But I'm full. I can't talk about pizza. Thank you, Dolores. You have a good night wherever you are. I skipped the Bible questions. Oh, because you keep. What do you want me to say? I mean, yes, there's a dietary law, but a lot of those laws apply to the nation of Israel, the people, the nation as a whole. You know, if you go to the New Testament, where Peter was shown a whole bunch of unclean things, and he was told to eat it, and he said, "No, Lord, you know, I have never eaten anything unclean like that." And God said, "Don't call what I created unclean." And that was a reference to the goyim, to the Gentiles that were coming into the fold. So that is my answer to you. Do I like oatmeal? Yes. I eat it with water. I have oatmeal. I usually eat it more in the winter. So I haven't eaten it in a while because it's not winter. And yeah, but I do like oatmeal. I like probably not as healthy, if you know, depending what kind of oats you get. Some are more healthy than others, but I like the ones with cinnamon and brown sugar. So three-quarters to 3, 8 meridian. I don't know what that means. You're gonna have to enlighten me, Kevin, because 3/4 to 3, 3/4 to 3. Okay, so okay, I got it. 3/4 to 3, the meridian time. So we wouldn't say 3/4 to 3, but 2:15. Night shift and 24-hour clocks. I don't like you, Ed. I admit it. I'm going to skip your question. Yes, Peter was shown to not to call any man unclean while given unclean foods to eat. So yeah, I understood. I understood the 215 in a more complicated way. Am I going back to Florida next year? I'm going to say it in 4 words. Ready? Buddy, stay quiet. In 4 words. Hush, hush, mush, mush. That's all I'm going to say. Have I ever studied under a pastor? No, but for many years before I got married, and probably for a while after I was married, I did a lot of studies myself on my own regarding not just the Bible, but regarding the cults and occults and other religions. I wanted to do apologetics, so Christian apologetics, and I did a lot of studies, and a lot of the stuff I've forgotten. Some things in conversation, it'll start coming up slowly. Some of the things. I mean, I used to know. I would be able to quote, things in different religions or different sects, or cults, and now I can still do it, but a little more roughly, and I guess I'm just rusted. So. Look, eat the scavengers. I don't eat the scavengers. The only scavenger that I like is shrimp. Okay, if that's a bad thing, then I admit it. I like shrimp. So, and that's the only scavenger. I don't eat lobster or crab or any of that stuff. So I like lobster. Now, why don't we compare lobster to the flat Earth? You believe in the flat Earth? I don't. I like shrimp. So. All right, everybody. If anybody has a nice, quick question, let it fly. Otherwise, this little video of mine is going to turn into 2 hours, and I was going to go to bed earlier today. And what happened? Look, all of you have kept me up all night. All right, everybody. All of you have a good night. Am I coming to Michigan? Probably not this year. I've been there quite a few times, but I don't see myself going there this year. Vanderhoof just turned in, and hi Vanderhoof, bye Vanderhoof. That's it. All right, everybody. I gotta go to sleep. I gotta get up. I get up early every day. if you all know, I work for a living. I get up at 25 to 5, more or less, and I go to my spot and my work, and I make myself breakfast and get ready for work. And so I like to be early. And yeah, so on the weekends, if I sleep late, don't blame me. Don't call me lazy. I'm just tired. Everybody, everybody have a good night, except for the gatekeeper. Okay, every night, even for the gatekeeper. But I will see you tomorrow with a nice big bucket full of water, and then we'll see who's laughing tomorrow. And I want to film that too. So yeah, sleep nice, buddy. We'll see you tomorrow with a bucket full of water. Anyway, I'm just kidding. I wish everybody a good night, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. And I'll do this another time. Thank you very much for putting up with me and for the questions you've asked. So everybody, have a good night.